store here in Corte Madera, California. It's about 10 minutes to opening. There's about 35-40 people in the queue for people who've reserved iPads, and another 25 in the queue for people who want to purchase one in the hope that they don't run out today. So we'll join the queue. Okay, so we're out of the store and we've got the iPad, and it was a really smooth process. I wasn't waiting for more than 10 or 15 minutes to get this, and this is it. So we'll unbox it just to see what it's like inside. Usual cool Apple packaging, and there it is, protective film on top. Wow, that is so light. And here, just lift that up, looks like a power supply, and the usual connector to the to iTunes on your computer. Couldn't be simpler. So now I'm going to get it home and load up all the apps. So this is the iPad with some apps that I've loaded onto it. It's in landscape mode so I can show you video better. I'll start with Netflix, which is one of the most impressive apps. It's one I'd use quite a lot, I would think, on this. This is the streaming movie service that Netflix provides to its subscribers, to its DVD delivery service. So it's just loading a movie now, and it's got some features which other versions of its streaming movie software don't have. So, for instance, there's a scrubbing bar along the top here. So if I press the top, I can go forward to a different part of the movie. And I can go back. The quality of the picture is very good, as you can see. So that's a particularly nice application. We have YouTube. There's an ABC player here, which doesn't seem to orient into landscape mode, but lets you see things like Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. And again, that's very good quality. iBooks. Going to look at the iBook store. The shelves are a bit bare, but it does come with a book about bears, or Winnie the Pooh, which is a free app to begin with, and it's a great demonstration of what this can do. So if I just turn a page here, you can see how natural that is. If I just do it so slowly, it animates as quickly as you like. You can just tap and do it, and you can tap back and get it to go back that way. So a lovely book. One problem I did have was I went to the store to try and order a book, which I thought should be in there. It's almost a bestseller, and you would expect it to be an introductory app for, or an introductory book for the iBook store. I searched for Ian McKellen's Solar. Just typed it in here, click search, and there's plenty of Solars, but there's no Solar the novel, so a bit disappointed about that. Whereas if I go to the Kindle store, and actually here is Solar. If I put it this way, this is a sample that I downloaded, and you can just tap through the pages here with the Kindle app. You can't do that animation trick of just gradually turning the page, unfortunately. So the iBooks wins out with style, but the Kindle app works out the window in terms of content right now. So that's books. There's a graphical novel here, Twilight, which is an interesting use of the iPad as well. So press on book here. Takes a second to load, but it's worth the wait. There you go. That looks beautiful. And this is just swiping as well. So that's a little look at ebooks. News applications. Here's BBC News. I'll tap to play some video here, which this app does, but the BBC website doesn't, because it's based on Flash. So this is the BBC's way of getting around this in bringing out its own app, rather than converting its whole website to HTML5. So that's the BBC News app. Bloomberg looks very good. A lot more screen space, real estate to put things there. Click on Apple. There's the share price chart. It could go even higher on Monday after the launch of the iPad, I guess. USA Today, a newspaper. And it looks pretty much like a newspaper the way they've laid it out. And even if you tap on a story, you've got the 3-column layout there, so it's still pretty similar to the newspapers we know and love. And I checked out the New York Times, and that's pretty much the same kind of idea as well. IMDb uses the screen real estate more. Instead of this is what you would have for the iPod Touch and the iPhone app, here you've got more space for pictures and reviews and what have you. I'll show you a game. This is Cro-Mag Rally, which was very popular when the iPhone came out. One of the best sellers. And this is the pixel doubled version. They've just blown it up, doubled the number of pixels. And it looks pretty good. This is a $3 app. So I'm going to crash straight away because I want to show you this. This is Cro-Mag Rally in HD, as it were. This is the $10 version. So is it worth paying $7 more for it in a little better definition when the graphics aren't that great anyway? It's certainly a lot sharper, but would you pay $7 more? Obviously game developers feel they can charge a bit more for games on the iPad. And I'll crash again there. So that's how games can look. We've got Epicurious, that's quite an interesting one. So imagine you've got this propped up on its stand and you're in the kitchen and you're just reading the recipe here. And there's quite a choice of recipes. So it really lends itself to that kind of thing with the stand accessory cover that you can get. Music perhaps I can show you. That's the iPod icon here. Just a little bit. So various views of that. Let's press on that.
Picture yourself set up for good in a whole other life. Mystery zone. Make us a house, some faraway town where nobody will know us well.
And that will play no matter what you're doing.
Where your dad's not around.
And that can go with a photo slideshow as well. Here's a weather app. And this can include video and satellite maps and what have you. Here you've just got a reflection of various cities here. There's also Kayak Flights. That's quite an interesting app. Helps you search for flights. It uses the screen space to give show you all the kind of choices for hotels as well. Maps. Much more sophisticated than what you get on the iPod. As is TweetDeck, which has more columns obviously than you can manage on the iPod Touch or the iPhone. So all in all, the apps are very impressive. They really bring the whole experience to life, and it can only get better. The iPod Touch and iPhone apps are functional, but they don't look great, and they really need upgrades if you want to get the full experience that you get from some of these iPad-specific apps. So here I have 3 portable devices I'm carrying around with me. Here's the iPad. Next to it's the a EEE netbook. It's about a 10.3-inch screen, and there's my iPod Touch, which is obviously about a 3-inch or so screen. This is 9.7. This is 1.5 pounds versus about 3 pounds for the netbook and a few ounces for the iPod Touch. Sorry. Which do I prefer? They've all got their uses. It would be nice to think the iPad could replace the other two. It's somewhere in between, obviously, in terms of weight and size. It doesn't have the keyboard, but the on-screen keyboard is very good, and you can get a Bluetooth keyboard or the keyboard accessory that Apple's going to be selling before long. It still seems very much a kind of sit back and consume type device rather than a productivity one, so I think I'll be carrying the netbook for some time yet. But it's a very promising debut, and people may want to pay the $500 now. They may want to wait a year for a camera version or more memory or a lower price, but this is a very impressive machine, and certainly a groundbreaking one, if maybe not quite a magical and revolutionary one, as Steve Jobs says.